What do you think was Taylor Swift's biggest controversy? The country singer turned pop star has managed to forge a wildly successful career in the music industry. Then, when her popularity reached its peak around 2016, it suddenly became popular to hate on her, which is sadly the case with many female artists. But to be fair, when you reach that level of success, there's also bound to be quite a few scandals following you. Over the years, Taylor's been involved in major celebrity feuds, legal battles, and accusations of copying other musicians. She's also been cancelled more times than you can count. So let's get into it. Here are the top 10 biggest Taylor Swift controversies you forgot about. Number 10. Private jet use. In the summer of 2022, Taylor was one of several celebrities who were called out for their private jet usage, which can contribute to an excess of CO2 emissions and harm the environment. A study from the marketing firm Yard named her as the #1 offender, alleging that her shortest recorded flight of 2022 was just 36 minutes, when she was flying from Missouri to Nashville. Apparently, her jet has flown 170 times this year, and the flights have amassed a total of 8,200 tons of CO2 emissions. For context, that is thousands of times more than the average person's total annual emissions. A rep for the singer hit back at the report and released a statement saying Taylor's jet is loaned out regularly to other individuals. To attribute most or all of these trips to her is blatantly incorrect. But even so, her fans were not happy. One viral tweet said, "Taylor Swift saying she wants to run away to the lakes and live out the rest of her life surrounded by nature, and then being responsible for 8,923 tons of carbon emissions is so unserious." Number 9. Fat Phobia. Last month, when the music video to her new song Anti-Hero was released, Taylor copped a whole lot of backlash for including one specific scene. The moment that angered viewers shows Taylor in the bathroom weighing herself on a scale as her inner critic and alter ego looks on. A close-up of the scale shows the word fat written on it instead of a number, and then she shakes her head in disappointment. The clip was immediately picked up by some body positivity advocates who felt that it was fat-phobic and reinforced negative connotations surrounding the word fat. As a result, the video was taken down and that specific scene had to be edited out. From that point on, there was a big debate over whether or not Taylor expressing her struggles with body image was considered valid because she was speaking from her own personal experience, or if she was part of the problem because she was only adding to the narrative that being fat is something that everyone should be terrified of. Number 8. Katy Perry feud. This legendary feud was said to have started in 2013 amid rumors that Katy tried to sabotage Taylor's tour by stealing some of her backup dancers. In September of 2014, Taylor gave an explosive interview calling her out for this. She said, "For years I was never sure if we were friends or not. She would come up to me at award shows and say something and walk away, and I would think, are we friends, or did she just give me the harshest insult of my life?" Taylor went on to say, "It wasn't even about a guy, it had to do with business. She basically tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. She tried to hire a bunch of people out from under me, and I'm surprisingly non-confrontational. You would not believe how much I hate conflict, so now I have to avoid her. It's awkward and I don't like it." She also called Katy competitive. In response, Katy tweeted, "Watch out for the Regina George in sheep's clothing." Then Taylor released her song Bad Blood and the drama just kept escalating. But thankfully they were eventually able to bury the hatchet somewhere around 2017, and they've been on good terms ever since. Number 7. The leaked phone call. Kanye West released a song called Famous in 2016, which was met with extreme backlash. In the song, he name drops Taylor Swift and says, "I made that B famous." Taylor then clapped back at the 2016 Grammys and said, "There are going to be people along the way who are going to try and undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame." Then Kim Kardashian came to Kanye's defense and leaked a recording of Taylor agreeing to the lyrics over the phone when Kanye had called her from the studio. This caused a massive scandal to erupt, and fans called Taylor a snake for seemingly lying that she never consented to him using those lyrics. But it wasn't until 4 years later that the full phone call made the rounds on social media that finally exonerated Taylor of any wrongdoing. During the call, you can hear Kanye reassure her that the lyrics about her won't be mean, but he conveniently leaves out the fact that he's going to call her the B word in the song. So in the end, it was revealed that Taylor was telling the truth. Number 6. The Ticketmaster Disaster. If you've been on the internet recently, then you'll have probably heard about the Ticketmaster disaster that's happened with the Taylor Swift's The Eras Tour pre-sale. Basically, over 3.5 million people registered to get a pre-sale code from Ticketmaster's verified fan system, but only 1.5 million fans were sent codes to access the pre-sale. The company then said that due to bot attacks as well as fans who just didn't have codes, they reported that 3.5 billion total system requests were recorded. As a result, fans were stuck for hours in a queue, and the website itself was frozen or kept crashing at the checkout. In the end, 2.4 million tickets were sold during the pre-sale. Ticketmaster then cancelled the general sale due to what they call insufficient remaining ticket inventory mandatory to meet the demand. Essentially, the verified fan system is meant to ensure that fans get their hands on tickets before bots and resellers do. But shortly after the pre-sale, tickets began popping up on ticket resale websites for ridiculous amounts of money. Number 5, called out by John Mayer. Although Taylor hasn't been very forthcoming about the inspiration behind her songs, some of her exes have fired back and said that they don't appreciate being her source material. John Mayer infamously told Rolling Stone that he was humiliated by Taylor's 2010 song Dear John. He said, "It made me feel terrible because I didn't deserve it. It was a really lousy thing for her to do. I never got an email, I never got a phone call. I was really caught off guard." He went on to say, "I think it's that kind of cheap songwriting. I know she's the biggest thing in the world and I'm not trying to sink anybody's ship, but I think it's misusing your talent to rub your hands together and go, wait till he gets a load of this. That's BS." Taylor then shot back and said that he was being presumptuous about the song's inspiration. But then another one of her exes, Joe Jonas, also came forward criticizing her for singing about their breakup, which was apparently a 27-second phone call. They eventually made up though, and Taylor even apologized to him. Number 4, the Shake It Off lawsuit. In 2017, Taylor was sued by songwriters Sean Hall and Nathan Butler, who claimed that she had taken the lyrics from their song in 2001 called Players Gonna Play. They were referencing her use of the lyrics in Shake It Off, where she's saying players gonna play and haters gonna hate. At first it seemed like she was gonna get off easy because the case was initially dismissed in 2018 after a judge said that the lyrics were not original enough for them to claim that it was stolen, because the words players and haters are just way too commonly used for them to be able to prove that Taylor got the influence from their song. But in 2021, a panel of judges brought back the lawsuit and a federal judge ruled that the case would be going to trial. In a last-ditch effort to avoid going to trial, Taylor filed documents saying, "Prior to writing Shake It Off, I had heard the phrases players gonna play and haters gonna hate uttered countless of times to express the idea that one should shrug off negativity." But the singer's motion was denied and the trial is set to go ahead in January next year. Number 3, the 2009 VMAs. More than a decade ago, there came a VMA moment that will live forever in infamy. It was a moment in which Kanye West stormed the VMA stage as Taylor attempted to accept her award for Best Video by a Female Artist. He declared Beyonce was the rightful recipient of the Video of the Year award and said, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you and I'ma let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." It seemed like a harmless stunt, but the resulting fallout from that moment was explosive. That event really made history and it solidified the narrative that Kanye was something of a villain and Taylor, of course, was the victim, considering that she was only 19 at the time, and apparently she cried backstage after the incident before she then had to go back on and perform. The moment not only became the face of 1,000 memes, but it ignited one of the biggest celebrity feuds of the 2010s. Number 2, exposing Scooter Braun. From 2006 to 2017, Taylor released 6 studio albums under the label Big Machine. When her contract was coming to an end in 2018, her lawyers proposed that her masters be sold back to her, but Scooter Braun would only agree to that if she signed another 10-year contract with them. An agreement was never reached, and Taylor called out Big Machine executives Scooter Braun and Scott Borchetta in a scathing social media post that said, "For years I asked, pleaded for a chance to own my work. Instead, I was given an opportunity to sign back up to Big Machine Records and earn one album back at a time, one for every new one that I turned in. I learned about Scooter Braun's purchase of my masters as it was announced to the world. All I could think about was the incessant manipulative bullying I've received at his hands for years." She even accused him of preventing her from performing her older songs at the 2019 AMAs. In the end, she never backed down and she decided to re-record her earlier albums so she could own those masters. And coming in at number 1, the Folklore Logo. Yet another scandal erupted when small business owner Amira Rasul called out Taylor for allegedly copying her design on the merch associated with her 2020 album Folklore. She posted on social media saying, "I am not going to let this blatant theft go unchecked." At the time, Taylor's rep responded to the allegations that the design ripped off her work. They said, "Yesterday we were made aware of a complaint that the specific use of the word 'the' before Folklore album on some of the Folklore album merchandise was of concern. Absolutely no merchandise using 'the' before the words Folklore album has been manufactured or sent out. In good faith, we honored her request and immediately notified everyone who had ordered her merchandise with the word 'the' preceding the Folklore album that they will now receive their order with the design change." Amira said that she was grateful for the switch and she tweeted, "I commend Taylor's team for recognizing the damage the merchandise caused to my company, the Folklore's brand." So at least this one resolved itself. That's everything that we have on the list for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below and I'll catch you in the next video.